So what I'm going to do now, we're going to talk about making a bass line here just using tom drums. I'm going to show you how you can actually load sounds into the push from the browser and into a drum rack. Again, just to show that there's a lot of functionality and things that you can do from this. So what I'm going to do here is hit the Add Track button, and I am going to scroll down to the drums category and then select the drum rack, right? So this is just a blank drum rack here, and I'm going to hit load. We see we have loaded on a blank drum rack, right? So now we can actually load drum samples into this and swap them out all from the push, which is super cool. So again, the really important thing when you're working with the push is where you're selected in terms of the instrument or the pad or any subsequent effects. So that's basically how it lays out. So again, there's this square icon. I'm going to select the pad, and now I am going to hit the browse button to jump into the browser. So you can see that this is actually entered into hot swap mode up in the browser. And I'm going to scroll and find where I have a couple of tom drum samples. So I have the sample there. I'm going to hit load, and it loads it directly into the drum rack, which is pretty sweet, right? So now the cool thing is I'm already in the same area, so I can just press the next pad, scroll down to my next sound, and load that in. Pretty sweet, right? Yes, very sweet. This stuff, sometimes I feel like you take it for granted, like what we're doing and what exists in this. Like, this is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the browse button to leave that. So now I have my two sounds. Right? So this is something I do with my music a lot. I create bass lines just out of different pitched tom drums. I've actually labeled these and made these before. This was in a track that I made, and I just simply exported them out of that track as individual samples. So the cool thing about working with drum racks, right, is we can choose to just create different note pitches of this tom drum. So if, let's say I wanted to take this high one and I wanted to copy it to another pad and change the tuning of it. Wouldn't that be cool? Too bad we can't do it. No, just kidding. So this demo is messed up, man. I want my money back. Oh wait, it's free. So I'm gonna hold the duplicate button here. Gonna take the magic index finger, press a pad, and it says pad tom high D, the infamous copied select destination pad. And I go like this, and it copied it up there. Pretty sweet, right? So you could be like, hey, check this out, guys. Yeah, I'm making music. Right? If I wanted to delete those, there's a delete button on the top left here. I can just hold delete, do, right? I just want this one. So again, that's how we can copy a pad to another pad, and we're gonna now change the pitch of this. So, right now it's the same, but I'm gonna take this top one, and on the push here, we see, again, focusing on where we're selected. So we have the drum rack is this first button here. We have the drum rack pad, which is the second button, and then we have the actual simpler device, which is the instrument that's housing this amazing tom. Or maybe it's not so amazing. Maybe it is, yeah. So we can transpose this up by using the transpose control. You could see that down in the simpler here. So this is what's really cool about the push is we have access to all of these different parameters. So I'm gonna just tune that up, +5 semitones. So now we have, right, which becomes super fun. So again, I'm gonna press here with my finger and click or press the next pad, which this is going to do what? If I press here, it's created this new clip for us, right? So we remember on our drum racks and in the drum rack view here on the push, this is showing us that loop length, right? So this, by doing that, I went and selected and created a 2-bar pattern. So so the process is pressing and holding the 1 and then choosing how long you want to do. So if we wanted to create a 4-bar clip, I just press here, go out there. If I wanted to create a 16-bar clip, press and hold, bada boom. Pretty cool, right? So 2-bar clip, let's program in these toms. Done, right? Cool, great. Does anyone get excited about making music? Woo! So again, just to review, process for that, press and hold a pad, or press and hold duplicate with a pad, press the pad you want to copy it to, and then change the note pitch there with the transpose control. Cool, so let's look at our notes here. So load sounds into a drum rack, copy to a new pad, and transpose a sample. We learned some tips there for doing this with tom drums. You know, you could copy this 16 times, create 16 different note pitches, and really write bass lines with it. For me, I don't always write bass lines this way, but I like the limitation of it, right? We only have 3 notes to work with, so there's less options. So we're not sitting there going, is this the best bass line? Is this the best bass line? And you've sat there for 3 hours, you have 15 bass lines, and none of them are the best because you didn't make a decision, right? This way we can at least be like, there's the bass line. So next we're going to talk about the melodic step sequencer. So I'm going to add another track here by hitting the add track button, scroll down into my user library here to where I've created this.
Houston, contact with a test. 1, 2, 3.
We're going to get to that, courtesy of NASA. So I've just loaded a chord sound that I have here in Mr. Sampler here, which is just housing this chord sample. So the current mode we're looking at with the push, with this note mode, we can play different note pitches with our chord. You hear it rattle that snare. It's pretty cool. So the way that the pad grid works here, let me grab actually and see here's where exactly I'm going to do this because I can do it faster on the computer. I'm just going to load in grand piano so I can show you guys how the push is working in this note mode because it's a little bit different because I've chosen to put a sampled chord in there. Handy quick key here, if you hold Option and hover up here on your track, you can resize all the tracks at once. Yeah. Because they got to all be the same. If they're different sizes, you're messing up. So basically, when we have a instrument here, we can play scales and different notes with the push here. So the colored notes are the root notes of the scale. And the way you want to think about playing it is we can play up the scale, kind of forget about everything other than this row, this first row of 3. So kind of, don't think about this right now. So if I want to play up the scale, I start at the root note and I go up, staying in this column of 3. What scale? C major, right? Which is cool because on the push, if I hit the scale button over here on the left, I can change it to whatever I want. So maybe I change it to G minor, right? right? Or we change it to a G minor blues, right? It does the work for you. Hello, technology, right? This is the difference. You guys remember flip phones? Flip phones and smartphones. That's what's going on here. So you can make chords easily. The easiest way to make a root position triad or chord is to do the, actually this one goes out credit to my buddy Sanjay Patel for telling me the power claw, right? The 3 fingers. Usually it's for when you're working and you have to hit Control, Option, and Command. Back when I was back, that's like back in the Pro Tools days. There would be the 3-finger power claw for like modifier key. Super nerdy stuff. Anyway, you make a modified power claw here, triangle, and you can make chords. And now, easy as that, chord progressions. Done, 5 seconds, call it a day. We're not going to do that, but I wanted to show you how the pad grid works out. So we know colored notes, root notes, octaves. If it's green, is that a different note pitch? Yes or no? No, right? So green just means same position or same note, different pad position. So you can kind of play with 2 hands like you would a regular keyboard. So let's delete this. Delete, if we want to delete the instrument, hold delete on the push here and delete our grand piano. So this is working a little bit differently here because I have an audio sample of a chord. So it already played several notes. So I would not want to make another chord with that. It's going to sound insane. Ugh. All right, so just playing 1 note here. So normally with this mode, we could simply hit record and play whatever we wanted. Right? And we have a pattern laid in. So that's one way of inputting. That's just how we would record from any normal piano keyboard, from a MIDI controller, and that's great.
If you're a music producer, subscribe to our channel and stay up to date on the latest Pyramind tutorial videos, track breakdowns, elite sessions, and more. Visit us at pyramind.com.